Meta Platform stock has been soaring, and since it's been over a month since I last visited the company, I've been getting a lot of questions for me to evaluate Meta Platform stock again and answer the question if it's still a buy at these new higher valuations. Of course, I've had Meta Platform stock rated as a buy all year long here in 2025. I had it rated as a buy all year long in 2024. I had it rated as a buy all year long in 2023. So I've been bullish on Meta stock for several years now. And several of the reasons why I've been bullish on Meta stock I've talked about, and it's the user-generated content business model. It's the massive total addressable market opportunity in advertising at roughly $1 trillion. And it's been a relatively attractive valuation on Meta stock, even with those powerful tailwinds and powerful reasons why investors should be attracted to this company. So in this video, I'll revisit the company, update that recommendation, and let you know if I still think it's a buy at these new higher prices.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So like I mentioned, I've had Meta Platform stock rated as a buy all year long here, and I last updated this recommendation on May 23rd, 2025. So let's take a look at the company and let's see if it's still a buy. So one of the reasons why I've liked Meta Platform stock is because of the user-generated content business model. And let me describe that a little bit. Meta Platforms across its apps, which include Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Messenger, and Threads, generates revenue based on user engagement with each other and the platform. So people go on these platforms and they engage, they share, they like, they comment, they upvote, they downvote, and all of that engagement generates revenue for Meta in the form of advertising. The more time people spend on the platform, the more advertisements are shown to those individuals. And marketers are willing to pay top dollar to attract the attention of roughly 4 billion monthly active users across Meta's variety of apps. So those marketers, they want the opportunity to influence those purchasing decisions, and they're willing to pay for that opportunity. And that's been increasing ever since Meta Platforms also has been harnessing artificial intelligence to better target those advertisements to specific users. There's no sense for a marketer for, let's say, if you own a vegan restaurant in Miami, Florida, what's the point in showing that advertisement to somebody in Los Angeles, California? That person is never likely to be a customer for your business in Miami, Florida. Or if they are, they might visit your restaurant once during that moment where they are visiting Miami, Florida. So those would be wasted advertising dollars. And therefore, by targeting advertisements better, marketers can get a better return on ad spending and therefore generate a better investment return. And that's what's attracting so many dollars to the digital advertising industry overall and Meta platforms more specifically. The chart I have showing here, it's from fiscal.ai. They aggregate a lot of this financial information. It saves me a lot of time. There's a link in the description if you're interested in their services. But you can see Meta's return on invested capital at 35.5%. That's a really strong ROIC. And to make things even better, that's been increasing since 2022. And this big drop from 2021 to 2022, this 37% from 20 to 21% was a result of changes in Apple's privacy policy that made it more difficult for Meta platforms to target those advertisements that I was talking about earlier. But Meta platforms found a way to work around this and found a way to still target ads and still generate that great return on ad spending. And that's another reason why I've been bullish on Meta platform stock is the management team has been extremely successful at dealing with challenges that could potentially disrupt the industry. They've handled them relatively well and moved forward and become better as a result. So the management team gets a high score from me in terms of their ability to mitigate risks and deal with challenges and generate growth. So you can see that return on investor capital has returned almost to that level of 37.4% before Apple launched those privacy policy changes. So at 35.5%, also that return on investor capital is more than 3x the company's weighted average cost of capital. And when I'm evaluating a ROIC number, I'm comparing it against the company's weighted average cost of capital. The cost of capital is how much it costs the money for the capital, and the return is what it generates. So when it's generating 3-to-1 ratios, that means it's increasing shareholder wealth in the process. I like that number a lot. What you're looking at here is my proprietary discounted cash flow valuation model and my calculation for what I feel Meta Platform shares are worth today. And I just updated this calculation today is $688 per share. The current market price is $719. So when the valuation and the market price are this close, I usually come to the conclusion to say that the market price, the business is fairly valued. And when I see a business like Meta Platforms, which I categorize as an excellent business and is trading at a fair value, I generally rate that business as a buy because if you invest in great businesses and pay fair prices for them, over the long run, you're very likely to increase your wealth. And that's the situation I see with Meta Platforms. Now, I also like to look at valuation on a forward price to earnings basis, and Meta Platform stock is trading at a forward PE of 28, which I think is a reasonable valuation. Again, a fair valuation for a business of this caliber with these competitive advantages, with this kind of improving return on investor capital, on the cusp of this growing effectiveness of artificial intelligence, where Meta Platforms has been one of the leading companies in this category in terms of how much and how effectively they've been investing in artificial intelligence. You've seen all the headlines of Meta Platforms being able to scoop up employees from OpenAI and other companies to lead the efforts at Meta Platforms. So what does that all mean? Do I think the stock is a buy, hold, or a sell at these current valuations? Well, as I kind of talked about during the video, an excellent business trading at a fair value is always a buy in my book. And so I'm updating this recommendation for Meta Platforms today, July 3rd, 2025, reiterating my buy recommendation for this AI company. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.